Previously on Historical Geocaching, my dad and I are enjoying a ranger talk at Moccasin Bend National Archaeological District in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Ranger Chris Young has told us about the Cherokee Indians and why some of them felt it better to peaceably move west, while others wanted to stay in the tri-state area no matter what. Now, we're about to actually walk on the Trail of Tears.
This trail that we're about to walk on, I'll point out when we go through the fence line here, we are on a section of the original road that those Cherokee crossed on. And so as we walk along, I want you to think about those questions that we brought up as we walk. A section of the original road that those Cherokee walked over 175 years ago. All right, let's go. Oh, okay. Do you have one of these already?
I can find it online.
As an only child, I have a pretty vivid imagination. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, was National Siblings Day. I didn't know that. I'm on Facebook, I'm a millennial. So I was looking and it was National Siblings Day all day yesterday, and I was kind of heartbroken by that. But when I was growing up, I didn't have a lot of people to play with around my house, so I had to make friends either from my neighbors, or if I found myself alone, I had to really use my imagination because it was just me at home. Is anybody else an only child? Do they have that same problem? So I had a pretty vivid imagination. I remember getting kids together from the neighborhood too, and I was the one with the imagination. And when we played like Cowboys and Indians, or we played, I was interested in the Civil War way back when, and we would ride our bicycles around like cavalrymen and everything. And so I always had these pictures in my brain of what things look like. And I remember visiting historical places and trying to channel that and get my neighbors even involved into thinking about history. When I come out here and I stand on the road that we're standing on now, and I look back, everyone just turns your head and looks back toward where Michael's walking right now. I want you to use your imagination. And I want you to picture what it must have looked like for 1,080 people coming down that road. In June of 1838, it's sweltering. The sun is blazing down. The Tennessee River has been lowered enough because of the summer that you couldn't take a boat on the river. Groups of Cherokee that had gone before this one particular group in June had used flatboats and river boats to take them along the Tennessee River into Alabama and then out west to Indian Territory. But by June, there weren't any boats, and if there had been any boats, the water level was so low that that group had to go overland. It's a nice day out here today. But how many of us really know what summer is like here in Tennessee and Georgia? It can get brutal. And then, at night, it can completely flip upside down. And it can be cold at night. It can get almost down to freezing at night. So when I look back up that road, I envision over 1,000 people who have been ripped from their homes, who have been taken to Chattanooga against their will, and who have left not only their homes behind and their loved ones behind that have passed on before them, but that they have literally had to leave just about everything that they own behind. And as they come down the road, they're sweating. Their feet may hurt. They may not have the clothing that they need. And then I think about when they get to the end of this road, when they get to the end of the road where we're headed, when it turned into night, was it cold? Could it have gotten so cold that you needed a blanket to stay warm? A blanket that you might not have. A blanket that you had to leave behind. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? Where are you going? Why is this happening? It's no wonder that this road becomes a part of what the Cherokee call the Nuna Dawasuni, the trail where they cried. Everything is about to change. And it's because of roads just like this that change will be brought about. Questions, comments, observations at this point? All right, let's continue our walk.
Next week on Historical Geocaching, Ranger Young tells us even more about the internal controversies of the Cherokee Nation regarding the Trail of Tears.